Happy Sunday, guys. It's your boy Stas here. Got my good old caffeinated beverage on deck. How could I not? Not a coffee today, though. We're drinking a white gummy bear energy drink. Yeah, make fun of me in the comments, guys. Cheers. I appreciate you all for tuning in. As listen, we have a lot to break down today. A lot. Stocks, charts, earnings coming up, and we have to go over my opinion in terms of why the market's selling off, what I'm looking out for, and overall what I'm doing in this pretty volatile stock market where the VIX ended up going nuts on Friday. Oil sold off. Pretty much everything sold off. So we have to break down my plans, what I'm doing, and what to expect here. So hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join my Patreon for my portfolio updates and private Discord if you guys want. That's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stasurfest.com/Patreon. And now let's dive into it. So Friday was one of the worst trading days that I've seen. Not ever, obviously. Look, I've been in the market for 10 plus years. I've seen way worse than that, but that's one of the worst ones that I've seen in recent memory, right? The Qs went down 5%. The S&P went down roughly half of that, but still, that's 2.5% down. Pretty bad for the S&P. The Dow went down 1.3%, and the Russell went down about 2.5% on Friday, and we're pretty much off a cliff right now. You know, we're seeing a complete falling knife on the S&P, on the Qs, and the million-dollar question is why? Well, there are a couple of reasons here. Number one, SpaceX IPO. The market needs liquidity. So what we're seeing here is, in my opinion, the big dogs, the big funds are selling out of some of these AI names, taking profits, trimming some off the top, and they're raising money, again, liquidity for the SpaceX IPO, which is this Friday. June 12th is the date, right? Which we'll talk more about that, obviously, throughout the week. So that's number one. Cash is being raised to buy the IPO, which is going to be the hottest IPO in the history of the stock market by far. And number two, another big reason here is the fact that the jobs market, the labor market, came in a lot better than expected. We added, I think, 172,000 jobs when the estimate was only for 80,000. And you might be like, Stas, isn't that good? The economy is doing pretty well. Isn't that good after seeing the labor market not so great a couple months back? Now we've seen a couple months in a row of pretty good data. Isn't that good, Stas? Yes, it is good, but it puts the rate cut narrative completely to bed, which it already was with oil up, the conflict in Iran, right? We're going to see oil probably higher than expected all throughout the summer, right? Until we get a deal. Who the heck knows when that will be? So the fact that the labor market's running pretty nicely, inflation's hot, which, oh, by the way, we're getting data this Wednesday. We'll cover that in a second. All of that is putting the rate cuts to bed, right? We're not getting rate cuts. Of course, this year, we weren't expecting it, even before we got the labor market data, we weren't expecting rate cuts this year, but now we're definitely not getting them this year. And, probably even next year for the first half of the year, we're probably not getting any cuts. Now we're getting rate hikes on the table. Rate hikes are a serious conversation. In fact, in Japan, they're looking to actually raise rates for the from I think 3/4 of a basis point to 1%, and that's going to be the highest their rates have been in a very long time. I forget how long. I think like 20 or 30 years. So Japan's hiking rates. Labor market in the U.S. is hot. Inflation's running hot. That is putting, again, the rate cut narrative to bed, and the fact that SpaceX's IPO is coming up, money needs to be raised, and they're going to sell. These funds are going to sell, and they're already doing it. They're winners, they're top winners, not selling them completely, but they're taking profits, taking some money off these stocks, and that is the big reason. Those two are the big reasons why we're selling off. You could also talk about Broadcom, softer guidance than expected. You could talk about this, talk about that. but the main reasons are what I just stated. And look, we have inflation data coming up. Before we dive into these charts, these stocks I'm looking at, earnings to pay attention to for this week, let me show you the inflation data coming up this Wednesday on the 10th. Yeah, let me double check the date. Yeah, it's the 10th, this Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. East Coast time. Of course, we're getting core CPI and, of course, the headline CPI numbers, which all of these are expected to go up, right? Except for the monthly numbers, surprisingly. We can see core CPI, you guys know by now, that excludes food and energy, right? That's projected at, let's see, 0.5% for the month here. And last month, it was at 0.4%. So core CPI is going up on a monthly basis. It looks like the headline CPI number is going up. It's projected at 2.9% versus 2.8% last month. And these aren't, crazy spikes, but it shows you inflation is going up. That's the reality here. Although the monthly CPI number is going down, the yearly one is still the main one to pay attention to. We can see the monthly CPI is projected at 0.3%. And last month it was 0.6. So we'll see if it comes anything hotter than 0.3. Let's say the core CPI. No, I read that wrong. Core CPI is projected at 2.9, not the headline. Core CPI is projected at 2.9 versus 2.8 from last month. So that's going up a little bit. Same with core on the monthly number, but the headline on the monthly number is going down, projected at least, from 0.6 to 0.3, and the yearly headline number is spiking like crazy, guys, or at least it's projected to 4.2% versus 3.8 last month. So again, inflation's going up, man. Of course, thanks to what's going on in the Middle East, which is being dragged on longer, or drug on, whatever. Sorry for the grammar people out there. But it's going on longer than expected, which is going to have an even heavier push on inflation. So that's kind of what to expect in a nutshell for this week. Potentially more selling on Monday to Tuesday, although I don't think it's going to get much uglier. I mean, some people think this is the start of a collapse. I don't necessarily think so. There is this narrative going around that SpaceX, their IPO, is the top, and it's the end of the bull market, end of this cycle. I'm not buying that, guys. I'm not buying that. But there are some people that are, and that's what the market's all about. Competing ideas. When you're buying a stock, there's somebody selling. When you're going short, somebody's going long. There's always this back and forth, competing ideas, and who's going to be right at the end of the day. That is the fun, part of this market. Of course, long term, we know who wins, but short term, it could go either way, but I'm betting that this is not a big crash. This is just a much-needed pullback. There are a couple of reasons, again, why we're selling off. I'm taking advantage, guys. I am buying stocks. Like I mentioned in my previous couple of videos, I bought some Micron on Friday, which you guys probably know if you saw my previous videos. We're not going to harp too much on that, but I added some Micron just at 890. So I am down a little bit on that now that the stock's at 855, but bring it on. Bring on more downside. I'm looking to add more to my Micron here because, again, my conviction is this is not the top. It's just a pullback. We're hearing now Meta is looking to issue stock. We're hearing reports of that. We have Google already telling us they're going to issue shares, issue stock because why? Why are they doing that? Because they're funding the AI build out. And I like to say this, follow the money, right, guys? Follow the money. Where's the money going? They're spending more and more and more and more money on this build out because they realize that this is going to be a beast. AI is the future. They need to spend as much money as possible to, grasp this opportunity, which in the short term, it's going to dilute shareholders. it's like, oh man, it's causing a bit of a sell-off here in some of these stocks, But if you're looking at this a couple years down the line, and if you believe all this spend is warranted, it's gonna be monetizable. It's gonna yield a nice, it's gonna yield nicely. Then you look at this and you're like, oh, it's genius. Follow the money. Buy these big tech stocks on the dip. That's the way I'm thinking, because I believe that these big tech companies know what they're doing. I'm investing in them because, look, what's the alternative? We're gonna buy, Coca-Cola stock, Pepsi stock, right? Not hating on those stocks, but what's the alternative, right? You gotta trust it. You gotta trust the management team, at least in my opinion, and follow the money. So for that reason, I'm buying more of these AI stocks, because these big companies, they keep investing more and more and more, building out infrastructure, which needs all these chips, all the memory chips, all of this, all of that. So to me, it makes sense. So we got that news from Meta on Friday. Their stock went down, and it's funny because I trimmed a little Meta right before the announcement, to buy some other stocks, and it went all the way down to 582 on that stock offering news. Google, we got that news about a week ago from Google. The stock's been trickling down, but if you believe in the future, if you have conviction, this is easily a buying opportunity. And it's it's all about where you think we're headed. If you think the AI trade is a bunch of smoke and mirrors, a bunch of nonsense, if you think these companies can't monetize on all this spend, yeah, it's time to, maybe sell these, short them. But if you think they're going to be able to make a ton of money off this spend, if you think the AI build out, we have another 5-10 years to go, it's a no-brainer what these companies are doing. So that's kind of my thought there. Let's see some earnings coming up here, guys. We have Oracle this week, which is big when it comes to, the AI trade. Massive, massive earnings week for Oracle, ticker ORCL. They have earnings coming up on the 10th, which is on Wednesday in the aftermarket. And look, this chart looks great, man. And not to toot my own horn, but we called out Oracle a couple of months ago when it was at 130 to 40. Did we not talk about it here on the 3-year chart, how it looked great? The pullback, it got a little bit too oversold. The sellers got exhausted, and now look at us. We're now up from 130, 140, all the way to over 210 heading into earnings, and we just hit 250 a couple of days ago, guys. So this chart setup looks really good heading into earnings, in my opinion, and analysts have them doing, on average, the projection EPS of $1.96 versus $1.70 from last year, on revenue of $19.09 billion versus $15.9 billion from last year. That would be up 20% year over year. So Oracle, guys, at this point, looks like it could be a nice continuation play depending on earnings, and of course depending on how Monday and Tuesday go heading into earnings. If the market sells off a little bit more on Monday, Tuesday, Oracle's probably going to come down maybe even under 200, and that could be an interesting opportunity. So Oracle is for sure at the top of my watch list. Very important company for this week. Adobe as well, which is not at the top of my watch list, guys, but it is one worth watching considering it has earnings. Software has been obviously a pretty dead sector, so Adobe is in that space, and I'm curious to see how they're doing right now, and if their earnings will end up moving the stock. Will they? Will they not? Time will tell. Adobe's on, I think, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday in the aftermarket, and analysts have them doing $5.86 or 81 cents of EPS versus $5.06 from last year, on revenue of, let's see here, guys, $6.45 billion versus $5.87 billion from last year. That would be up just under 10% year over year. And you know my thoughts on Adobe. I've covered it before. I think this company, there is a pretty decent chance, high chance in my opinion, they get disrupted by AI over the next, they already are now, but over the next 3, 5, 10 years, this company might be in serious, serious trouble. I mean, once you're able to really edit a video using AI, flawlessly, I mean, you can already Photoshop, pictures with AI very easily. You can make a bunch of thumbnails, a bunch of creative designs, whatever you do, right, on Adobe, you can do with AI right now. Think about how it's going to be in 3, 5, 10 years. I mean, it's not going to be pretty, in my opinion, for Adobe. So I went from being somebody that wants to own Adobe a couple years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago, to now I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole, all because of AI. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong here. It could be a generational buy, but in my opinion, it's not. Another one here we have is Chewy, ticker CHWY. I know your dog, your cat, your pet probably loves Chewy. My dog's right here next to me. She has no idea, obviously, what Chewy is, but man, she loves the products from Chewy. And the stock, on the flip side, has not been getting any love. This thing is down to $20 a share after hitting 120 back in 2021. I mean, this stock's down in the past 5 years 83%. That's not good, guys. That is not good. Chewy's got earnings on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday in the morning. Analysts have them doing earnings per share of 43 cents versus 35 cents from last year on revenue of $3.35 billion versus 3.12 from last year. That would be up 7-8% year over year. Not much. So growth at Chewy has slowed down tremendously. And it's kind of turned away a lot of these growth investors over the past couple of years. And it shows in the charts, man. This stock tried to make a comeback. I think 2 years ago, it tried breaking back through here towards the 45, 50, 55 level. But it failed, and now it's just down and out. We're back towards the all-time lows on the stock, which I'm not loving, guys. So these companies I'm watching earnings-wise, but the only one that I would buy, honestly, is Oracle. Because, look, Adobe, like I said, not a big fan. Chewy, not a big fan anymore either. I used to own it, trade it a couple years ago, but I'm just watching their earnings, guys, and of course, all eyes are on the AI stocks this week, right? A lot of the ETFs I'm watching, we have SOXL, which is a 3x leveraged, semi ETF. It's 3x to the upside. It's a bull ETF. This thing is down 37% in just 2 days from 284 to 182. So this could be an interesting bet if you think we're going to get a sharp recovery back to the upside in the semis. DRAM's another one, which is a memory ETF. This one's down a good chunk. The chart looks great. We hit 70 a couple days ago. Now we're down to 55. So I like the way DRAM's looking. Round Hill memory ETF. SMH is another one, which is not a leveraged semi ETF. It's just a regular semiconductor ETF, down from 640 to 570. Uptrend looks good. We're down 12-13%. Interested in this one. Of course, Micron we talked about. NVIDIA we always talk about in the low 200s. NVIDIA looks very interesting in my opinion. And of course, Broadcom, this one's collapsing, guys. They gave some type of guidance. Not the end of the world, but the market got spooked. And again, all these reasons combined, we got a sell-off. And that's pretty much it, man. This week is going to be a big, big week. Probably one of the biggest weeks coming up that we've seen over the last while. With the SpaceX IPO, the inflation data, the crazy sell-off we just had. There are a lot of questions heading into this week, like, will this sell-off continue? Will the SpaceX IPO, go well? Is it overvalued? Is it undervalued? I don't know who thinks it's undervalued, but what do you guys think, man? Gear up, buckle up. Hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and join the Patreon if you guys want to keep up and see kind of how I'm investing. You see my portfolio updates every week, and you get access to my private Discord. All that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfS.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.